You got it? There we go. Whoa. I have a coaching voice, so I don't necessarily need the microphone, but as we get going, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to those of you who are online and watching and partaking in this. You know, we wanted to offer an opportunity for engagement, a time to talk, discuss, listen, share. And I want to say thank you to our panelists. As you might know, I'm Corey Wise, Superintendent of the Douglas County School District. And as we look tonight, we're looking at safety, well-being, mental health, the social-emotional learning, and how we can support, share more, and develop that as we go. So we have a great group of people, not only district, we have students, we have some of our community members and resources, and I just can't say enough for thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here tonight. So I'm going to turn over to our MC, Mr. Nate. And Nate, thank you so much for everything you do. Mr. Nate Jones.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you. He's off to another meeting right now. So thank you so much for being here this evening. This is a pilot of sorts. We're going to try and reach out to the community a little bit more this year. It's one of Corey's priorities as superintendent, and I guess my job is to sort of organize, promote, and bring you guys out here. So thank you for being part of our very first panel discussion, community forum panel discussion. Tonight's event is centered around safety, mental health support, and social-emotional well-being. We've got a fantastic panel, as Corey said. Not easy to get an hour with everybody that's up on stage, but we were able to do it tonight. Format for this evening, I'm going to ask a series of questions related to the topics. RSVPs sent us in questions that have guided our discussion this evening. So I've got about 7 that speak to those big bucket items. We're going to try and get through as many as we can. After tonight's panel discussion, all of our panelists, except maybe some of our students, I believe it's homecoming week, so I think we've got a bonfire to get to tonight. They're going to stick around for a little bit so that you can ask them questions out here in the, is it a foyer? Is that what you call it? The entryway to the school. I'd also like to thank Castleview High School for hosting tonight. Just about an hour ago, they were up here rehearsing for their play. Please support them and check that out too if you are in the neighborhood. Real quick, forgot it's my job to also move the slides forward. Real quick, thank you for being here. Thank you for partnering with us in creating some feedback and a positive environment where we can get together and talk about these important issues. So again, thank you for being here, and thank you for showing kindness in our panelists as well. We're going to start off with some introductions. We're going to go left to right. This is the order that we're seated in here this evening, and we're going to start with Deputy Superintendent Danelle Hyatt.
Good evening. I think I was just introduced. My name is Danelle Hyatt, and I am Deputy Superintendent for the Douglas County School District.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and at-home viewers. My name is Andy Abner, and I'm Deputy Superintendent for Douglas County School District.
Good evening. My name is Sid Rundle, and I am the Student Support Services Officer, also the Special Education Services Officer.
Good evening. My name is Johnny Grusing. I'm the new Director of Security for the school district.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Stephanie Crawford, and I am the Director of Mental Health for the district.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Zach Hess, and I'm the Director of Health, Wellness, and Prevention.
Hi, my name is Chris Zimmerman. I'm the principal at Cimarron Middle School in Parker.
Good evening. My name is Kelly Smith, and I am the principal at Flagstone Elementary in Castle Rock.
Hello, I'm Lori Key. I'm a middle school counselor in Douglas County.
Good evening. I'm Marcia Alston with the Douglas County Youth Initiative, and I'm the Youth Services Program Manager.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Menzel, and I'm a junior at Mountain Vista High School, and I am representing the Student Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Hope Ingalls. I'm a senior at Chaparral High School, and I'm a part of our Sources of Strength.
All right, thank you, panelists. We went through that quicker than I thought, so we've got more time for questions. I do want to note that some of the questions that we received through the RSVP form are very student-specific, so we do have an additional document that we're working on. We're going to respond to those individually so that you still get the answers to those specific questions that you asked through the form. We are going to focus more on broad support this evening, and we're going to start with the topic of safety. Our question here, please explain the training that you do with all school staff, students, and SROs to provide the safest environment possible for all of our students, staff, and guests. And we'll turn it over to Johnny Grusing.
Hi. Yeah, for the last 6 weeks or so, and even before school started, part of my initiation process was to make sure that we're providing good training to staff and students on what has been institutionally called SRP, which is Standard Response Protocol, and lockdown drills. So for the first 2 to 3 weeks, myself and my team come together with a SRO, which is the school resource officer, and even 2 or 3 other officers in the district. We meet with the principals and teachers, and we instruct them through the Standard Response Protocol, which comes from the I Love You Guys Foundation. It's the way to respond to anything from a spill in your hallway to having to evacuate your school. Douglas County's been doing this for years, so it's been educational for me to see it, but also we've even tweaked it a little bit to make it more prevention-oriented instead of just response-oriented. So take, for example, today, we go to Sand Creek Elementary. We spend 30 minutes talking over with principals and teachers and staff, making sure all the doors and windows function properly in case of an emergency. And then we also talk about what prevention methods they can use, whether any type of emergency that comes. So it's a two-way discussion. And then in the afternoon, myself, my team, and Douglas County Sheriff will come and we'll walk them through a drill. And the principal, the assistant principals will go with us through the school, make sure the students and staff are responding properly, which they are. So that's my days, and so far I love my job. We go from school to school, meet with the staff. They take it seriously, but it's not something that's frightening to the students, which actually coming on from law enforcement, I was afraid it would be, but Douglas County already has something well in place, and that's what I'm learning with them.
If I could just add on to that, I think one of the additional priorities when it comes to safety and security is culture and climate within a building. At the end of the day, our goal is that every student would walk away loving where they go to school, loving their staff, the teachers, their peers, that it would be a great environment. And I know that sounds kind of like a soft word, but if students truly do love and appreciate where they go to school, and that's the culture and climate that exists in that school, then they're going to be the first ones to reach out if they see something, hear something, or feel something that's not right. I mean, let's face it, our students are at the front of social media much more frequently, and they know things well before we do. And so if we can build that culture and climate and involve them, it's very important. So we go through the SRP process with all of our students as well, especially at the high school level. We actually take them through the same training that they would get, that our staff gets, so that they understand what to do, especially if they're in a situation maybe where a substitute's in their classroom or something like that exists. So it's important to foster that culture, and climate is so important that exists in a school. If they see a door that's propped, they know that's not supposed to be the case. They can unprop that. They know not to open the door for strangers. They see something, feel something, or hear something that's not right on social media. They learn that they can alert us a variety of ways through email, telephone calls, or safe to tell. One aspect of safe to tell that I just want to highlight is that if a safe to tell comes in at any time, it's followed up on. And so if a safe to tell were to come in right now after school hours, it would be followed up on by it, depending on what the safe to tell is. If it's a threat to an individual or to a school or something like this that comes in, or the rumored of one, then the law enforcement will go out and respond to that evening, and they'll take appropriate action of initial investigation. They'll also, as necessary, ask students to stay home until the school can complete their threat assessment process and to work through all those details. And so they take those necessary steps, and then the school can start responding the next day in a safe and an appropriate way. So I'd like to encourage you to, encourage your students to use safe to tell. If they ever even if they don't feel something's right, we want to be on the safe side of that. And so please encourage them to use safe to tell if they need to. But these are systems that we have in place from more of a culture and climate standpoint that inform us so that we can respond appropriately to any type of a situation. And so it's important that we're building that culture and climate. And so with that being said, I'd like to turn over to Principal Chris Zimmerman here, who can kind of share how that looks at his school specifically.
And Principal Zimmerman, before you do that, I was gonna quiz Hope and Nick, because now that they've been through for a while, you've heard twice now the word standard response protocol. There's actually, kind of the big idea is that there's shared language. Do you guys know, will you tell us what are the 5 different protocols that are in place for safety in our building?
All right, so I know we have lockdown drills, we have lockout drills, fire drills, tornado drills, and then one more.
It's the hold one.
Well done. It's not really called a tornado drill, but it's shelter in place.
Shelter in
well
place,
done.
there you
Okay,
go.
Very good.
There we go. So just a quick note, lockout was actually changed to secure this year. So that is a change, because they were confusing, right? Lockdown, lockout. So secure just now means that the building doors are locked and no one can come in or out. Usually the threat, always the threat is outside. And for a lot of these, when I send out those communications, it's because we've got some wildlife in the area.
Good job. That was good. We typically drill a lot on our evacuation, and our secure and our lockdown. Shelter in place is something a little more uncommon, but we still do drill that a couple times a year. So what Andy was talking about, there's actually an initiative out there right now that is working on nationwide. They're bringing entities together. It's called BOLD. And what they have come up with is an acronym. It's called ICARE. And so the I stands for information. So important that we share information with our SROs, with our sheriff's departments, with each other as schools. You don't necessarily think your registrar is part of your safety team, but absolutely, if a new student comes in or those records need to be transferred from school to school, we need to make sure that those records are accurate and that we're following up on that. The C is culture. Andy talked a little bit about culture, climate, and how important it is. That's one of the things that we're zeroed in on this year, is making sure after a year and a half like we had, is that we are making sure that every single student is connected to our building. It is so important for our students to be connected. The A is for assessments, and I feel like we have what is above and beyond even the state's assessments when we're talking about suicide assessments and threat assessments. The reporting, we have a great system in Colorado, particularly around Safe to Tell, where those tips come in. We get them on our cell phone, no matter what time of day. What's great about that is administrators, counselors, SROs, and the dispatch. So it comes in the dispatch center, and then they are able to get it to the correct people. So there's some of that information sharing, but the reporting is so critical when it comes to responding to anything that happens in the building. For example, a bathroom incident this last week. Anybody hear about Devious Licks? That TikTok? It's been amazing. And then the last one is around education, and that's really where the standard response protocol comes in. It's so important that we as a district around, and also the surrounding districts, have the same common, simple language that we're able to respond to. And that's not just within our schools, it's also within our police department and the people that respond to the emergencies that are in our building. It's so important to have that education with all entities.
Can Johnny expand just a little bit on the SRO training portion as well? I think that's important. I know that was part of one of the questions.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, we have 4 different jurisdictions that respond, that are our law enforcement partners. It's Douglas County, Lone Tree, Castle Rock, and Parker Police Department. And as I was coming on board, I attended one of they call it NASRO, it's the National Association of School Resource Officers Training, and it's the certified entity that sits over nationwide all the school resource officers. They had, I actually have a copy of the book. It's dealing with students, especially when you have challenging aspects, whether it's mental health, depression, those sorts of things, and then how the school resource officer should react. And they're not just there for the law enforcement piece, and I've seen that in working with them hand in hand with these standard response protocols. They're a teacher and they're a mentor. So I'd say those two parts of their triangle are what they focus on, or being teachers to these kids and mentoring them, and watching whether it's high school, junior high, or middle school, elementary. I see a good relationship with our local partners as they're walking through the schools. So the training that they get, though, we work a lot with Douglas County. Most of our schools are in Douglas County. They send us most of our resources, and the lieutenant and captain over them is very serious on them getting as much training as they can, and we as a school district support that both financially and with space and time. You have something,
Chris, did you have something additional?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot that comes up with school resource officers. Number one, it's so important to have a relationship with the school resource officers. That communication on a daily basis is critical. There's two courses that SROs take. There's the beginning and the advanced course. In both of those sections, there is specifically, because I know this comes up a lot, there's specific sections that help and teach them how to deal with different students. Specifically a section for students on 504s and IEPs, because that's something in the past that's been tough. But I want to say that our SROs have been phenomenal in our buildings, especially when there's that great relationship between the administration and that SRO, where there's constant communication that's happening throughout the day.
Nick, I saw you nodding your head a little bit. Is there anything that you would want to add from a student perspective in regards to either the training protocols that you've experienced as a student? I also saw you nod your head a little bit about your school SRO.
Yeah, so coming from a student, the schools do a great job about training us, because if we were to have a surprise just lockdown or like a secure drill, I know almost every single student in the school would know what to do and knows the basic protocol for that. So I feel like the education towards the students on these protocols is very good. And I was also nodding my head because I heard the word culture and connection brought up, and I know that's a big part in our school and community, and that's kind of one of the key factors into safety, because students are on their phones a lot and in social media a lot, and they are usually the first ones to know. So I feel like having a good relationship between the students, which I see in my school at Mountain Vista, is kind of the key to like knowing if something is coming up, or like knowing if there is a threat there. So we need to have like a safe relationship between the school resource officer, which I know a lot of people at my school do. So if someone does see something on social media, they can like reach out either on Safe to Tell or the school resource officer, and they could get the threat stopped. Or if someone is having like suicidal thoughts or wanting to harm themselves, if they're not comfortable talking to the school resource officer or reaching out to their counselor, it's important to have a relationship between their friends. So if they do end up telling their friends, those friends can help them and reach out for them. So that's just kind of what I was nodding my head about. Just the connection within the schools and the culture is just extremely important for the safety and just going through these drills or anything like that.
Great, and before we do move on to our mental health support portion of this evening, I did want to follow up with this question that we received about safe entry into schools. We had several questions about what our standards and monitoring are and our procedures are for entry into our school buildings.
So from what I've seen, we have upgraded our security cameras. Whenever we do these drills, I'll walk in with my team and with the principal and look in their staff office and say, how is your security for your school? And they'll show me the exterior cameras are very good as far as their definition. They do have security cameras. They have reinforced windows both inside and outside, and the doors, we make sure that they're locked. We test them when we go around. We're also looking at even exterior physical security outside the school as well. What I want to do, though, is you want to balance, and I know Chris can probably speak to this. The principal wants this to be an inviting place to where students can come in, and parents are happy to drop their kids off even at the elementary schools, but we keep them as safe as possible. So how are you seeing that balance, Chris?
I think it's pretty good. The locked door is so important. If you ever walk into a building and that door is unlocked, besides like conferences, I have conferences tonight, we have a lot of people coming in. I also have a security guard right there. But if you ever go into a school and you find that door unlocked, please email the administrator. Locked door is so important, even within classrooms. So as far as what Johnny was saying, I appreciate that, because we do want to make sure when kids walk in, when parents walk into our building, that it is a welcoming and inviting place. We don't want our schools to feel like prisons. But we also want to make sure that we're paying attention to the small details of making sure doors are locked, things are monitored, there's systems in place for when people come in through that front door that keeps bad things out, right? And even side doors. Our elementary schools do a phenomenal job of teaching their kids to not open a door for somebody that is maybe on a side door. They won't do it. I was watchdog dad one time and I got locked out. And I was so proud of the kids for not letting me in. But a locked door is just such a proven safety protocol that schools have to abide by. But welcoming, definitely we need that for our kids and our parents when we come into schools.
And Chris, you made a quick comment, and I wanted to ask Principal Smith if she would elaborate on that. I don't know that the community always knows what we do with our locked inside doors. What is the function of that, how that works, kind of just in general, what that's all about.
Thank you. So at the elementary level, it is a little bit easier because we don't have older students walking in and out. There's one entry. For example, at our school, at the beginning of the year, every family has to go through our Raptor system, which is through the state website to check for any issues that might arise, and they get a car tag yellow number. And as they come in the morning, we have one entry, and if parents want to come in and volunteer help, they have to show their car tag. If they haven't, we direct them right to the front office. My AP and I are there every morning greeting kids, and no one comes in the building. Throughout the day, the front doors stay locked. Parents know they have to ring the intercom, and then our staff talks with them through the intercom before they buzz them in, and they go right to the front. So that's how we keep safe. As far as interior doors, if there were to be a drill and the alarm would be pushed, all the interior doors automatically are on magnets and shut, and they're locked. So we're in a pod circle, so it's very secure, and it's through all the drills that we've had. Is that the question you were? Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. We're going to switch gears and focus on mental health supports and wellness in the district. Many of our questions wanted to know about programming and supports that are in place. How do schools support the social emotional wellness of our students? And we'll go to Zach and Dr. Crawford.
Thank you. Well, I want everyone here to feel confident that all of our schools are supporting the social emotional wellness of our kids. Everyone is doing layered programming, meaning there's programs out there to support all the kids and things that are going on in the classrooms for every student. And then, thank you. And then it goes up through the tiers for more intensive needs. There's more intensive support. So, for example, we have different curriculum that is out there that is evidence-based, that is supported by the CASEL framework. There's a CASEL 5 framework. The district has adopted that as our framework. And so we make sure that whatever curriculums are going out to schools, that they're on that registry by CASEL, and they support that work. There's different programming throughout the district with trauma responsive practices, restorative practices, and things like sources of strength. And all these are really great ways to really support our students' social and emotional wellness. We have, and on my team, we've restructured it so that we have the supports in the district, at the district level, to go out and support our schools with leads. And they can go out there and just be a resource and help people plan, help them vet different curriculum if that's the way they want to go, and different programming to support whatever those school needs are. And so, having said some of that, the social and emotional wellness, it starts at that prevention place that I'm saying. And that leads into suicide prevention. We got a lot of questions around what are we doing for suicide prevention. And that good social, emotional wellness instruction and practices in a school, that's the preventative work that we're doing. So if the stressors and anxiety for our students necessitate that higher level of need and support, that those structures are in place. And I want to hand it over. We brought a student here. Many of you have heard about Sources of Strength, and that's one of our big programs in the district to support social emotional wellness. And Hope is here to talk a little bit about Sources of Strength, and I want you guys to hear from a student perspective what that looks like in a school and how it helps keep that community connected and help with that suicide prevention.
Yeah, so at my middle school, I kind of noticed how there wasn't a lot of, or it didn't feel like there was a lot of support. So when I got to SHAP, it was a huge difference because we had this Sources of Strength program, and I got into it right away, and I realized that it was truly suicide prevention and community outreach. And in doing that, we have a wheel that we focus on that has 8 different spokes, and it's positive friends, family support, mental health, physical health. All these different things that when you get them together and when you work them together, it's going to help prevent against suicide, and it's going to get your community stronger. And I think that because SHAP has it, we're a better community overall, because since we've had it, we've had not one suicide in the, I think, 7 years since we've had Sources of Strength at SHAP.
Wow, that's incredible, Hope. Thank you. And you know, I don't know if you've walked through this building and you walked into the restrooms, you see a sign that says Sabercat Way, and it's those social emotional learning framework competencies from Castle. And they're like schools like this are doing that, and they post it. They have their own posters and materials out there to show the students and the staff how important this is for them. Both of our principals here are amazing at doing this work. I work with them a lot at that prevention level, and that then aligns to those next tiers of support. And I want to throw it to Kelly here to have her talk about it. She's done so much work in her school around social emotional wellness for sure.
Awesome, that is my passion. Thank you, Zach. So just an example, all of our elementary schools are doing similar things. In Castle Rock, our feeder all decided to adopt Second Step as our Tier 1, our universal program that we're teaching SEL through. This year at Flagstone, given the past year and a half that we've had in education, we have given every student, kindergarten through 6th grade, and every parent an opportunity to fill out a social emotional wellness survey, and we took with our problem solving team time to analyze that data and came up with kindergarten through 2nd grade goals and 3rd through 6th grade goals. And our kindergarten through 2nd grade came up with a need for understanding self-management and self-regulation. So we've implemented Mind Up, which is another curriculum, K-6, that we're using in all classrooms to help support students understanding when they don't feel right, what is their body telling them, and then how or what strategies can they use to get back into what we call the learning zone. Our 3rd through 6th graders, the data talked about understanding how to persevere through hard stuff. And we talk about we can do hard things all the time. So we talk specifically around empathy and resilience. And we went a step further. In order to have more time to teach that, we do SEL every day and embedded throughout our curriculum, but we do have a specific time weekly that our support staff push into classrooms, and teachers are released to meet with the admin team to go over data, and we're taking monthly data on our SEL goals. And we talk about every kid every week about how they're doing in their process towards their specific goals on SEL. We ask specific questions of parents on the parent survey around food insecurities, mental health, Does the child have a connection or a safe person to talk to at the school? And if they don't, and we've reached out to all of those parents through our school counselor. So we feel like this year we get better, but this year we're very cognizant of meeting every student mentally and social emotionally where they are. And I am really happy and proud to say that at our school, we are learning and growing, and we don't have a lot of issues right now around behaviors and mental health because we've addressed it on the front end. So that's what the work we're proud of, and I know a lot of the elementary schools in the district are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of them doing. I'm going to get to Chris here in a second. I wanted everyone to kind of hear what Nick was saying and Andy was saying about climate and culture and connection. And that at the heart of this work of that social emotional wellness and social emotional learning is building those connections to their positive peers, to positive adults, so that they can get through the tough times, so they are resilient. Because there's a lot of stressors out there today, and we need to give our kids the skills they need so that they can access the rigorous academics that we really want happening here in Douglas County School District, that I think we're all very proud of. But Chris, I wanted you to also, from a middle school perspective, we've got to work a lot together too, and I know at Cimarron there's incredible things going on also.
Thanks. Yeah, we have always done themes every year since I've been the principal at Cimarron, and so our theme is Cimarron Strong, and we've broken that down into quarterly around the wheel. And so right now we're in strength and community, and our students have done an advisement lesson on which part of that wheel really will help support them within the community. And then going on the staff side, it's really important where our students have a trusted adult. So we've done trusted adult campaigns, making sure that connection is there, and if it's not, then we need to intervene at a different level. With the staff, we've really tried to build connections. We just did some stuff at our PLC day where we really centered it around the champion of the individual. We talked about the puzzle piece, and focusing on that one puzzle piece. So we need to make sure that we know our kids by name and face. We need to make sure we know their academic status, and we need to make sure that we're digging in. We know those personal stories, whether that be in their family, what they like to do, what their hobbies are, and making those connections that are so important. I do think in secondary, we are seeing increased behavior. We are seeing it, and our students have gone through a lot, and are going through a lot, and are trying to figure out how to learn school again. And I want to give a huge shout out to our counselors. Our amazing counselors have done such an amazing job. They are working so hard right now in both elementary and secondary on trying to make sure our kids are taken care of in their wellness and mental being. I do think some contributing factors that we need to pay attention to. One is social media. It is in the middle school, I would say it's a contributing factor when kids are at home, scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, whatever you name it. There's some effects. There's some articles that just came out on Instagram, if you guys have read that recent one. I love middle school because it's that time of their life where their brain is developing, where they are growing the
Colorado standards and are directly aligned with the essential skills that are outlined by the Colorado state standards, as well as our comprehensive health standards, and those specific skills are referenced in the social emotional wellness standards. And so the question often comes, why are you teaching these certain skills? And where did that come from? And it's really important that our community understands that those come directly from our state standards, and we're obligated to teach our state standards. And we know based on all of the research that went into the development of those standards that involved parents and educators, et cetera, that those are the skills that our kids need in order to be ready and successful in this world and in their communities. And so that's just one thing I wanted to touch on when we talk about the programs that we're doing and how that looks in our classrooms. The connection is that does come from what we've outlined or what is outlined as our curriculum in Douglas County.
And that, Danelle, is another great example of that universal supports that we're doing for student health and wellness. Chris did talk about a little bit about that next layer of support that involves the kiddos that need a little additional support, more intensive needs throughout the day. And that's come from the counselors and those next layer of supports. And I'm going to have Stephanie kind of talk about those next layers.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of great work in our district. We have amazing employees and teachers doing this work. And we have a wonderful group of school counselors, social workers, and school psychologists who support our students' mental health and well-being as well. And I also want to thank the community because we've had such support from you in passing a mill levy and being able to add more counselors to our schools. So that really enabled our principals at the elementary level to hire at least one counselor in their school. That enabled our secondary principals, middle school and high school, to hire more counselors so that we could really be in that recommended ratio of one counselor to 250 students. So that is wonderful, and they're great added teammates to the counselors we already had, our social workers and our psychologists. Now, these mental health professionals can provide supports with both individual sessions, whether that be a student drops in one time and needs to talk, or multiple sessions. They have an issue they need to work through with their provider, their mental health provider. They also provide skill building and support in mental health counseling groups. And that is all preventative work to help make sure that what they learned at the universal level, if they need that extra support, they then can learn additional skills and even more coping strategies. This is all, as we've talked about, part of that prevention work, and this all helps for prevention of suicide and other dangerous behaviors for our students. When we do have that need, we do provide safety assessments to our students. That's something that our counselors, social workers, and psychologists are trained to do. And we have a really nice process. When we have a student that's referred or they self-refer and they say, I'm thinking about suicide, for example, we don't just assess needs. We assess needs, they have a conversation with their student, great aspect of what we do if we get to that high risk level. Additionally, we have really great partners in our community, and one of them is our youth community support teams, and so they will come in.
Talking about suicide prevention is really, it really does, I can't even stress enough how much it starts with your relationship with your children and our relationship with your children. And just being able to make sure, as Mr. Zimmerman said, that every student feels like they have some support somewhere. From there, at our school, I know we've talked about sources of strength. I'd like to just kind of highlight another universal program that we implement at our school, and I believe in all the middle schools and high schools as well, is our Signs of Suicide curriculum, which is really directly talking to the students about suicide and how to recognize signs and symptoms in themselves, as well as within their peer groups. One of the things that I've noticed I've been in the same building for 19 years, the same office, if you can even believe that. But it really impresses me year after year how our kids take care of each other. Like probably half the interventions that we do with our kids start with a friend that comes in and says, I'm worried about my friend. They're saying this, they're posting this, those sort of things. But every year in 8th grade at our school, we do a program called Signs of Suicide, and it's through our health curriculum. It's about a week long, three days-ish, and they go through various aspects. What are the signs of suicide? What are the symptoms of suicide? How do you get support? All those important aspects of it. And our teachers do a check-in with the students before each class of that unit and a check-out. And it has 3 options. I need to talk to somebody immediately about a safety issue. I have some questions, but I don't need to see anybody in the moment, or I'm doing just fine. And so each student, after they leave the class, the teacher goes through all of these check-in, check-out slips, and they separate them, and in real time, they run them down to our office. And we kind of, as a department, including our social worker and our psychologist, we go through all of these students' tickets, and that's probably about 90 per hour, just classroom time. And we see a good number of students, and many times they just have questions that they want to process. But it's a very layered approach, as you have heard, and it's a very intentional process that we do because we don't want to miss anything. So that, and we get a very good response from our students. So we feel really good about that particular curriculum that's delivered through our health class. So.
Thank you. So we have just a few more minutes if we want to have some closing thoughts on our mental health support side. I know that we wanted to talk about the Douglas County Health, our youth initiative, before we wrap this up. So 2 more minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to let you hear from Marsha Alston about all of the community supports and how we all work together.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm with the Douglas County Youth Initiative. We're a community program, so we're not based out of the school district. And we're an initiative that is a connection for youth and families, and we provide services and programs. So I think sometimes what I love to hear about is exactly, this is what we're doing here at this level, and then what's going on with the boots on the ground level, right? What do I do if something is going on? And so that's part of what the youth initiative was really meant to do, was to be that connector between youth and families. Youth spend a lot of time in schools, but they also spend a lot of time out in the community. So what are some of those resources? We have lots of them in Douglas County. We try so hard to make it easy for you all, for everybody to find out about them, but it is still kind of a challenge. So we have our program that we run out of the Youth Initiative is something called Wraparound. Wraparound is a free and voluntary program. We work with kids from the ages of 5 to 21. We're a family facilitation program. So we meet with the families weekly. We stay with the families for 12 months, sometimes 14 months. A youth that is facing extreme stressors or maybe system involved is a child and their family that we would work with. So that is really kind of what I think of as that boots on the ground is our wraparound program. But I also know I've been working in the county since 2003 and have a fairly good knowledge of a lot of the different programs that are out there to help our youth and our families. We have something in our county called the Juvenile Assessment Center, or the JAC. That is an organization that is there to help youth and families. All Health Network is a mental health network that is a nonprofit that is there to help families and youth. We have something called Developmental Pathways, which is there for our IDD students. AD Works, Arapahoe Douglas Works, has some great youth and works programs, some paid internships, some resume building, lots of different programs out there. I could really kind of go on and on. We have something in our county called the Mental Health Initiative, which oversees our community response teams. So I like to think of it as a spectrum. We have things that are for our youth initiative. we build and we support young leaders. Nick was at one of our events back in March, and that was awesome to be able to see him again. We do building leaders, and then we also do at the other end of that spectrum, we work with very intense families with the Youth Initiative. Again, as I said, I've been working in Douglas County since 2003, so I know enough to be dangerous, I think. I'm always happy to talk to families. Families call me often with, this is what's going on, what should I do? And so in that case, I think the Youth Initiative is that great connector. We're able to really tell a lot about the resources that are out there. There's a new group out in Castle Rock called The Way, and that is run by a local pediatrician, and he is looking at psychological in addition to medical health. So, you have to kind of know a little bit about this, dip your toes in, and then what I'm able to do is just give you that information, which I'm more than happy to do. I work out of the Department of Human Services, though I'm not a child welfare worker. But I work very closely with them. I work very closely with the school district. I work very closely with Zach and Stephanie. And so what we're trying to do is we connect, and so we can help you connect. That really is all about connection, relationships, and the culture. I'm so glad to hear Nick and Hope talk about that, because it's something that we talk about in our meetings, but boy, am I glad to hear that these guys are talking about it as well. We love to talk about kids and their mental health. We've done 2 sessions in the last 6 months where we've actually asked the youth, what do you want? We want to hear from you. What does that look like? And so back in March and then in July, the kids told us. So we're taking those topics and we're going to put action items to them. One of them was, we want more mental health training. We want more mental health classes. You've heard that, I'm sure, for us and for teachers. And so Dr. Crawford and I are working on that. How do we get that information out to you? There are apps, because you guys have cell phones, right? Yeah, okay. So you can put apps on your cell phones that actually help you with your mental health. They're using artificial intelligence for this. And so you download that app, and the app may say an hour later, hey, have you gotten up and walked around? Have you taken a mindfulness break? What about a hike tonight? So I think those are some things that we learn about, that we want to then share with our kids and our families. I love Douglas County. Like I said, I've lived here since 2003. It's a great place. I have 2 grandchildren in the district. It's a wonderful place. I hope that you all can ask us questions or ask me questions anytime, because I love to talk about how we can help you.
Great, thank you so much. An hour goes by pretty quick. Sid, you were right. An hour goes by very fast. But I did want to end with this last question, and maybe we can flip the script a little bit. One thing that we got a lot from parents was just what can they be doing to be helping their family, their kids through this time, because we've noticed that there have been some inquiries about increased anxiety, just increased nerves, increased stress. So what can parents be doing? And I thought maybe for this one we could do just one thing that's worked for you and your families as you've worked through this last 2 years. If we can just go very quickly, starting with Danelle.
So one thing I would encourage families to do is to reach out and communicate with school-based staff and support. Just know that there is definitely support available in our school communities. Sometimes I think people get a little apprehensive to reach out for that support for various reasons, and want people to know that there are counselors or mental health staff, administrators, teachers that are more than willing to help if you notice anything going on with your kids that you're really wondering about. That's one of the things that I've definitely taken to heart as a parent as well in the last year and a half.
Yeah, I think to Danelle's point, I think it starts with just a conversation and listening. And then obviously if you're able to fulfill some of those needs and to help your child and to help them through whatever may be a difficult time, or just through this time in their life, which quite frankly, the growing up years can be very difficult. If you don't have the resources or you feel stuck and you don't know where to go, at least reach out and talk to the counselors. even if they're not able to help, depending on the situation, they have resources beyond our school. As you heard from Marcia, there's a lot of resources out there that might be available for you, your child, or your family.
Real simple. Relentless and unconditional love. That's what our kids are starving for. That's what they're thirsty for. That's what we owe them. We need to help as adults in their lives. We need to tell them that they are enough, that they are worthy, and that we love them for who they are. And they're not getting that from their social media, and we shouldn't trust that to their peer group. That's our responsibility as adults. Let them know that.
Both my kids went through the Douglas County Schools, Mountain Vista. Now I'm an empty nester. But I've found that how I model as a parent makes a big difference for how my kids behave. And so if you guys take care of yourselves, especially watching how society's gone through COVID, I think 3 things I've seen are talk about stuff. I've seen when you internalize stuff, things tend to go poorly. Exercise. We live in a great state. Get out and do stuff instead of being inside. And then have someone else who can be someone who's a baseline for you when we all veer off course a little bit, and if you have something that is helping keep you straight, if you model those 3 things for your kids, they, at least for us, we give them a better chance of succeeding on their own.
Absolutely. We are the models for our children. And I think, jumping onto that is thinking about the way to be resilient is to be proactive and to have skills and be ready when we do have situations that can be distressing and difficult. So make sure as a family that you're having those discussions, that you're practicing strategies, and that you're making it a safe space for all of you to be able to have those conversations and problem solve together and support one another, because that's really where it first starts, is in our families.
And I'm going to go from the prevention lens and some of just those basic human needs. Enough to eat, healthy meals, not junk food, just good, healthy food. Drinking lots of good, clean water, not soda, not too much coffee. Sleep hygiene is huge. Just our kids getting enough sleep and helping them find a schedule that works for them so they do get that sleep. And like Johnny said, the physical, we got to get them moving. They don't have to play sports, but we got to move, we got to exercise and get the blood flowing.
3 things. One, I already touched, or a couple of them I touched base on. Number 1, we need to take care of ourselves as parents. We need to make sure that we're in a good headspace and we do the things necessary for ourselves to make sure that we could take care of our own kids. They model after us. Second one, please monitor social media. If not, don't have it, please. And then the third one is make family the center of the kids' world. Dr. Sachs did a lot of research around family dinners, making sure that families make sure that that is the number 1 value is family.
So with my own kids, I also have a 7th grader and a 9th grader in the school district, and we talk with our own kids and then with my staff and students about the 3 R's, and not the 3 R's that you're thinking about. It's regulate, relate, and reason. So we talk about how we can model what regulation looks like in our own bodies, which is healthy eating, exercise, meditation, anything that keeps you regulated, and how we can teach that to our kids. And then connections, we have to relate. You have to make, we are social beings. We have to relate to one another and rely on those social relationships to get through each and every day. We need to model that for our kids. And then once we have those 2 layers, then we can reason and learn. So that's what we work on in my family and at our school.
It's kind of hard going this far down the line because a lot of things have already been said. One thing I hear from kids a lot is they wish they had a better relationship with their parents. Now that flies in the face of them shutting down, refusing to answer questions, that kind of thing. But what I would like to propose is that try to find some sort of dedicated, uninterrupted time, whether that be dinner, whether it be starting a routine of, hey, this is our girl time, we're going to go have breakfast Saturday morning, or we're gonna do something, but focused, dedicated time. And it could be once a week, but consistent, reliable, and focused. And that has worked for me, and I've heard feedback that it works for others too. It's hard though.
One thing that I have heard students say at a couple of our different summits that we've held, they need help with school-life balance. They have a lot on their plates. We have high expectations for them because we want nothing but the best for them. But I do think that that might be a trait that we really, or a skill set that we really need to help them with, is we ourselves, adults, have a very hard time with that. Sometimes you hear work-life balance, work-life balance. Well, they have a school-life balance, and we have to help them as they're learning and moving along. What does that look like? What does it look like for that individual youth? What does that look like for our family? And so I would say that they do need help with that. They're talking about that. And so I think that's something that everybody should look into, is what does your child's school life balance look like?
I would say, coming from a student, that a really important thing that a family can do or parents can do to support their children is just build a connection and just make their kids feel comforted and loved. Because I know the past few years have been really hard, especially with COVID, and getting back into the swing of things is really tough on a lot of students. And like we were talking about, the balance between school, social life, and family life is really difficult. So I feel like students just need their parents just to be supportive and just have a strong connection with their children, either by setting aside time on the weekends or just bonding over a common thing like watching a show at the end of the night, or like bonding over football games, or going to go to the park every weekend. Those type of connections are really powerful when it comes to supporting their children.
Yeah, I totally agree. Having that time just during COVID, my mom made sure that she got all of my brothers and I together, and we'd just build Legos together every week throughout COVID. And now my brothers are all moved out and they're doing their thing, but she still makes sure we all get together and have lunch together, have a meal together. So just having that connection and making that effort to set up time where it's just family time, you put the screens away, that really helped our family. And then my parents listen a lot, so if I need to maybe not go to one of my classes, I ask them, and they listen to my reasons. They don't always let me, because obviously sometimes I need to go to class, but if I'm super stressed, they listen to that and they respect that and they help me throughout that.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. That is going to do it for our first panel discussion. Up here is a list of resources that we have. I think it works on both Android and iPhone. If you point your camera at that QR code, it'll take you to all of those resources, so you can visit those websites. We've also got an exit ticket, a review of tonight. So please give us your honest feedback, what you'd like to see going forward, any ideas for us. It'll only improve these engagements going forward. So please take a look, let us know how we're doing. And again, I appreciate you guys coming out here and spending your Wednesday evening with us. I know it's not easy to give up that time, and our panelists as well. Thank you guys. Nick, Hope, thank you so much for being a part of our panel this evening, and they will be sticking around to answer questions. So thank you so much.